Jai Hind, dear children. You are aware of the serious situation we are facing because of COVID 19. It has turned everything upside down in our life. All that we can do is to keep the pandemic at an arm's length. So, follow the safety measures like wearing masks, washing hands, using sanitizers without any fail. Last class we studied about geography chapter Lifelines of National Economy. In this chapter we completed topics like importance of trade, transport and communication. How efficient and fast means of transport and communication help the overall development of our country. Then we studied the three main means of transport or modes of transport, which includes land, water and air. In land, it consists of roadways, railways and pipeline transportation. In waterways, it includes both inland and major seaport facilities. And the third one, airways, includes domestic airways and international airways. And also about Pahuan helicopter. Then we studied in detail about road transport, its merits or advantages. Then we studied the classification of roads on the basis of their capacity as golden quadrilateral superhighways, national highways, state highways, district roads, other roads which includes rural roads and border roads. Then we studied the classification of roads on the basis of their material used as metalled and unmetalled roads. Then the challenges or problems faced by the road transportation in India. Next topic we studied is the railway network, its features and problems. Then about the pipeline transportation, its main characteristic features and the three main pipeline transportation in India. Today we are going to study about the second main means of transport, that is waterways, which includes both inland water transportation and also about the major seaport facilities in India. So next we are going to study about the water transport or waterways in our country. From ancient period onwards, India was one of the seafaring countries. What is the meaning of a seafaring country? That means from very early time onwards, we are having trade contact with other countries through sea. Waterways are the cheapest means of transport. They are most suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is a fuel efficient transport. It is also an environmentally friendly mode of transport. So once again, the waterways are the cheapest means of transport and they are suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is a fuel efficient transport and it is also an environment friendly mode of transport. India has a vast inland navigation waterways of 14,500 kilometers in length. They are natural roads, hence do not involve cost of construction. Out of these, only 5,685 kilometers are navigable by mechanized vehicles. So once again, what are the characteristic features of the waterways in India? It is the cheapest means of transport. It is suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is fuel efficient and environment friendly mode of transport. And in India, we are having a vast inland navigation waterways of 14,500 kilometers. They are natural routes, hence do not involve cost of construction. Only 5,685 kilometers out of this 14,500 are navigable by mechanized vehicles. And our Indian government has declared some waterways as national waterways. And in this chapter, we want to study 5 main waterways. The first one is National Waterways number 1. It is in the Ganga River between Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh and Haldia in West Bengal. So the first National Waterways number 1. It's there in Ganga River between Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh and Haldia in West Bengal. And it has 1620 kilometers. So, the National Waterways number 1 is there in Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, and its length is 1620 kilometers. The second is the National Waterways number 2. It is there in Brahmaputra River between Sadia in Assam and Dhubri in Assam, and it has 891 kilometers. So once again, the second one is National Waterways number 2. It's there in Brahmaputra River between Sadia in Assam and Dhubri in Assam, and it has 891 kilometers. The next is National Waterways number 3. It is there in the West Coast Canal in Kerala from Kottapuram in Kollam, Udyogamandal Ernakulam and Chambakara Canals Kottayam. So once again, the third one is National Waterways number 3. It is there in the West Coast Canal in Kerala, in Kottapuram, Kollam, Udyogamandal Ernakulam and Chambakara Canals in Kottayam. It has 205 kilometers. The fourth one is National Waterways number 4. The specialized stretches of Godavari and Krishna rivers along with Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry stretches of canals, and it has 178 kilometers. So once again, National Waterways number 4. The specialized stretches of Godavari and Krishna rivers along with Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry stretches of canals. It has 178 kilometers. The last one is the National Waterways number 5. The specialized stretches of Brahmani River, Odisha, along with Matai River, West Bengal, delta channels of Mahanadi and Brahmani rivers and East Coast canals. It has 588 kilometers. So once again, the last one is the National Waterways number 5. The specialized stretches of Brahmani River, Odisha, along with Matai River, West Bengal, delta channels of Mahanadi and Brahmani rivers and East Coast canals. It has 588 kilometers. So we studied about the 5 main national waterways. Apart from these national waterways, there are some other famous inland waterways which help a lot for the development of water transportation. They are Mandvi in Gujarat, Surai, Goa, Kambarga in Goa, Sundarbans, West Bengal, Barak, Assam, and also the backwaters of Kerala. So once again, apart from these national waterways, there are some other famous inland waterways which help a lot for the development of water transportation. They are Mandvi, Gujarat, Surai, Goa, Kambarga, Goa, Sundarbans, West Bengal, Barak, Assam, and also the backwaters of Kerala. Like our inland navigation, our port facilities also help a lot for the economic development of our country. It is noted that around 95% of India's trade volume is moved by sea routes. India has 7,516.6 kilometers of coastline, and it has 12 major and 200 non-major or minor ports. Out of the 12 major seaports, they were divided into 2 categories, as major seaports on the west coast consist of 6 ports and major seaports on the east coast consist of 6 ports. First, we are going to study about the west coast ports in India, which includes Kandala Port in Gujarat, Mumbai Port in Maharashtra, Jawaharlal Nehru Port again in Maharashtra, Marmago Port, Goa, New Mangalore Port, Karnataka, and Kochi Port, Kerala. So first we are going to study about the west coast ports, the main 6 west coast ports in India, which includes Kandala Port, Mumbai Port, Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Marmago Port, New Mangalore Port, and the last one, Kochi Port. So now we are going to study about each one of the west coast ports in India in detail. So first one is the Kandala port in Gujarat. Kandala in Kutch in Gujarat was the first port developed soon after independence. So once again, Kandala in Kutch in Gujarat was the first port developed soon after independence. This port was formed to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. So, this port was formed to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. It is a tidal port, the Kandala port, it is a tidal port. And soon after the loss of Karachi port to Pakistan after partition, we are giving a lot of importance to the Kandala port. So these are the main characteristic features of this Kandala port. It is there in Kutch in Gujarat. It is the first port developed soon after independence, after partition of India and Pakistan. We started this Kandala port. It is a tidal port, and this port was formed to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. Kandala port also helps to have a convenient handling of export and import facilities by stretching across the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So once again, Kandala port helps to have a convenient handling of export and import facilities by stretching across the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Second one is the Mumbai port in Maharashtra. It is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour. So once again, which is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour? It is a Mumbai port. And Mumbai port also played an important role in the development of trade and commerce in India. So it played an important role in the development of trade and commerce in India. Next is the Jawaharlal Nehru port. It is also there in Maharashtra. This port was formed to decongest the Mumbai port. And the Jawaharlal Nehru port always serves as a hub port. It is the largest container port in India and it is also the biggest port in India. So once again, the Jawaharlal Nehru port in Maharashtra. This port was formed to decongest the Mumbai port. And the Jawaharlal Nehru port, it serves as a hub port. It is the largest container port in India and it is also the biggest port in India. So next is the Marmago port in Goa. Marmago port in Goa is the premier iron ore exporting port of India. So this Marmago port, it is famous as the premier iron ore exporting port of India. It accounts for about 50% of India's iron ore export. That means from this Marmago port, we are exporting around 50% of India's iron ore. Next, we are going to study about the New Mangalore port in Karnataka. New Mangalore port, located in Karnataka, caters to export of iron ore concentrates from Kudiramukh mines in Karnataka. It is a port of great commercial importance. This port also imports crude oil apart from this iron ore for Mangalore refineries. So once again, the New Mangalore port located in Karnataka caters to export of iron ore concentrate from Kudiramukh mines in Karnataka. This port is of great commercial importance. The New Mangalore port, apart from this iron ore, it also imports crude oil for Mangalore refineries. Among the 6 major ports in the west coast ports of India, the last one is the Kochi port. Kochi port is the extreme southwest port located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbour. It is a major port in Kerala. So once again, Kochi port is the extreme southwest port located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbour, and it is a major port in Kerala. Next, we are going to study in detail about the six main East Coast ports of India. So, in the East Coast also, we are having six main ports, which includes the Chennai port, the Vishakhapatnam port, the Paradip port, the Kolkata port, Haldia port, and the Thoothukudi port or the Tuticorin port. So once again, next we are going to study in detail about the East Coast ports of India, which includes Chennai port, Vishakhapatnam port, Paradip port, Kolkata port, Haldia port, and the Thoothukudi port or the Tuticorin port. So among the East Coast ports of India, first we are going to study about the Thoothukudi port or Tuticorin port. So the Thoothukudi port, it is the extreme southeastern port in Tamil Nadu. This port has a natural harbour and rich hinterland. The Thoothukudi port has flourishing trade handling capacity. So it is handling trade contacts with our neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives and the coastal regions of India. This Thoothukudi port, it is an artificial port and it is the second largest port in Tamil Nadu. And Thoothukudi port, it is also one of the largest container terminal port in India. So once again, the Thoothukudi port is the extreme southeastern port in Tamil Nadu. This port has a natural harbour and rich hinterland. Thoothukudi port has flourishing trade handling capacity. So it is handling trade contacts with our neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives and the coastal regions of India. Thoothukudi port is an artificial port and it is the second largest port in Tamil Nadu. Thoothukudi port is one of the largest container terminal port in India. Next is the Chennai port. It is one of the oldest artificial ports of India. Why it is considered as an oldest artificial port? Because an artificial harbour has been created in an area of 80 hectares near the coast. So it is known as the oldest artificial ports of India. Chennai port ranked next to Mumbai in terms of volume of trade and cargo. Chennai port is considered as the largest port, first largest port in Tamil Nadu and the second largest port in India. It is also the largest port in Bay of Bengal. And the Chennai port, it is also considered as a hub port in the east coast of India. So once again, Chennai port, it is one of the oldest artificial ports of India. It ranked next to Mumbai in terms of volume of trade and cargo. It is the first largest port in Tamil Nadu and the second largest port in India. It is also the largest port in Bay of Bengal. This Chennai port, it is also considered as the hub port in the east coast of India. Next is Vishakhapatnam port. It is the deepest landlocked and well protected port. So Vishakhapatnam port, it is the deepest landlocked and well protected port. This Vishakhapatnam port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore exports. It is the most important seaport in Andhra Pradesh. So once again, Vishakhapatnam port is the deepest landlocked and well protected port. And this port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore exports. And Vishakhapatnam port is the most important seaport in Andhra Pradesh. Next is the Paradip port. This Paradip port is located in Odisha, specializes in the export of iron ore. It is considered as a primary port in Odisha and it is also one of the largest port in the biggest port in the east coast of India. So the Paradip port is located in Odisha, specializes in the export of iron ore. It is a primary port in Odisha and it is also the biggest port of the east coast of India. So next is the Kolkata port. It is an inland riverine port. So what is an inland riverine port? Inland riverine port means inland waterway such as river, lake or canal, which may or may not connected to the sea. That is known as a inland riverine port. This Kolkata port serves as a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. This Kolkata port is also a tidal port. So once again, Kolkata port is an inland riverine port. This port serves as a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. Kolkata port is also a tidal port. The last among the east coast port of India is the Haldia port in West Bengal. This Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on Kolkata port. Haldia port is situated near Hooghly River in the state of West Bengal. And the port of Haldia is one of the major trade centers for Kolkata. So once again, Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on Kolkata port. This Haldia port is situated near Hooghly River in the state of West Bengal. The port of Haldia is one of the major trade centers for Kolkata. So here we studied about the 6 major seaports in the west coast of India and also the 6 major seaports in the east coast of India. Next we are going to study about the third mode of transport, that is airways. So as a means of transport, airways is very important because it is the fastest, most comfortable and prestigious mode of transport. It can cover very difficult terrain like high mountains, deserts, dense forest and long oceanic stretches with great ease. Because of all this, we can consider this airways is the most important and fastest and most comfortable and prestigious mode of transport. Air transport is considered as an important means of transport in the northeastern parts of our country. So now we are going to study the various reasons why this air transport is giving a lot of importance as an important means of transport in the northeastern states of India. The first reason why air transport is considered as an important means of transport in the northeastern states is the big rivers. Because of the presence of big rivers in these areas, especially Brahmaputra, which made it difficult to construct roads and railway lines in these northeastern areas. And rivers are often flooded also. Therefore, airways are suitable in these areas. So the first reason for giving a lot of importance to the air transport in the northeastern part is the big rivers, presence of big rivers. The second reason is deserted relief. Uneven surface is not suitable for the construction of roadways. Laying down railway line is a costly affair in these areas. In such areas can easily be travelled by airways. So the second one is deserted relief. This type of relief is more in the northeastern parts of India. So as a result of this uneven surface, it's not suitable for the construction of roadways. Laying down railway line is also a costly affair. So in such areas can be easily travelled by airways. The third reason is the presence of dense forest. Dense forests hammer the construction of roads and railway lines in the northeastern states because most of the northeastern states are having a lot of dense forest areas. As a result of this, it hammered the construction of roadways and railway lines in these areas, and as a result of that, airways is the only option to travel in these areas. Next is the international frontiers. The international borders of India like Bangladesh, Myanmar, China can be easily travelled by airways without much hassle. Because of all these reasons, the air travel has made access easier in the northeastern states of India. The air transport was nationalized in India in 1950 1953. So once again, the air transport was nationalized in India in 1953. In India, Indian Airlines, Alliance Air, private scheduled airlines and non-scheduled airlines operators provide domestic air services. Air India provide international air services also. So in India, Indian Airlines, Alliance Air, private scheduled airlines and non-scheduled airlines operates domestic air services. And Air India provide international air services also. Next is the Pawan's Helicopters Limited, provide helicopter services to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation in its offshore operations. These helicopter services also help to have services in inaccessible areas and difficult terrains like the northeastern states and the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. These air services also help to have rescue operations during natural and human-made calamities like floods, earthquakes, famines, epidemics and war. But one of the main problem of the air transport is that common people cannot afford these services very easily. It is only in the northeastern states that government provides special provisions to extend the service of air transport to common people in these areas. So these are the main merits and demerits of the air transportation facilities in our country. Next topic that we are going to study in this chapter is communication. Like transport, the communication facilities is also very important for the development of trade and the overall development of our country. So when human appeared on earth, from that time onwards, communication facilities is also there. But the pace of change in the field of communication happened in modern times. So here we want to study how communication helped in the economic development of our country. Communication are divided into two types. They are personal communications and mass communications. So communication consists of two categories or divisions. Which are they? They are personal communications and mass communications. So now we are going to study in detail about this personal communication and mass communication. Personal communication means communication between two or more persons at personal level. It includes private letters, memos, some electronic communications like email, personal interview, and telephonic conversation. So once again, personal communication means communication between two or more persons at a personal level. It includes private letters, memos, some electronic communications like email, personal interviews, and electronic conversations. Next is mass communication. Means of communication like electronic media, which can communicate a large number of people at the same time, are called mass communication. So once again, means of communication like electronic media which can communicate large number of people at the same time are called mass communication. It includes radio, television, films, internet, newspapers and magazines. It covers more than 95% of India's total population. It is a source of education and entertainment. And it is the most instant source of mass information also. And this mass communication, it brings all classes of people together. So once again, means of communication like electronic media which can communicate large number of people at the same time is called mass communication, and it includes radio, television, films, internet, newspapers, magazines, and it covers more than 95% of India's total population. It is a source of education and entertainment. That means mass communication is a source of education and entertainment, and it is the most instant source of mass information also. It brings all classes of people together. Firstly, we are going to study about personal communication in detail, in which we are going to study about the postal services and telecom works or telecom network. So first one, postal service. Indian postal network is the largest in the world. It handles parcels as well as personal written communications. So once again, Indian postal network is the largest in the world. It handles parcels as well as personal written communications. There are two types of mails in postal service. The first one is a first class mail in postal service, which includes cards and envelopes and are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. So the first one is a first class mail in postal service, and which it includes cards and envelopes and are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. And next is the second class mail, which includes book packets, registered newspapers and periodicals, and these are carried by surface mail covering both land and water transport. So the next one is a second class mail, which includes book packets, registered newspapers and periodicals, and these are carried by surface mail covering both land and water transport. So here we studied about the two types of mails. One is first class mail, another one is second class mail. First class mails includes cards and envelopes, and second class mails includes book packets, newspapers and periodicals. And the first class mail, they are carried through airways and land. And the second class mail, they are carried through land and waterways. No airways used in the second class mail transportation. To facilitate quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, 6 mail channels have been introduced recently by the Postal Service. They are Rajdhani Channel, Metro Channel, Green Channel, Business Channel, bulk mail channels and periodical channels. So in order to have quick delivery in the postal service, our postal department introduced 6 main channels recently. They are Rajdhani Channel, Metro Channel, Green Channel, Business Channel, bulk mail channel and periodical channel. The next topic related to the personal communication is the telecom. India has one of the largest telecom network in Asia. Excluding urban places, more than 2/3 of the villages in India have already been covered with STD facilities. What is STD? Subscriber trunk dialing facilities. There is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. It has been made possible by integrating the development of space technology with communication technology. So, India has one of the largest telecom network in Asia. Excluding urban places, more than 2/3 of the villages in India have already been covered with STD, that is subscriber trunk dialing telephone facility. There is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. It has been made possible by integrating the development of space technology with communication technology. So next we are going to study about the mass communication. In mass communication, first we are going to study about Indian radio, that is Akashvani. It broadcasts a variety of programs in national, regional and local languages for various categories of people all over the country. So the Indian radio, Akashvani, it broadcasts a variety of programs in national, regional and local languages for various categories of people all over the country. So next is Doordarshan. It is a national television channel of India. It is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. Doordarshan broadcasts a variety of programs from entertainment to agriculture, education to sports for people of different age groups. Thus, Doordarshan began in India in 1959. So, Doordarshan began in India in 1959. It is the most effective audio-visual medium for mass communication. It has extended to the backward and remote rural areas. It creates a lot of awareness among the people during the disasters and about movements and current affairs. So once again, Doordarshan. It is the national television channel of India. Doordarshan is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. Doordarshan broadcasts a variety of programs from entertainment to agriculture, education to sports for people of different age groups. Doordarshan began in India in 1959. It is the most effective audio-visual medium for mass communication. It has extended to the backward and remote rural areas also. It creates a lot of awareness among the people during the disasters and about movements and current affairs. So next we are going to study about the newspapers. India publishes a large number of newspapers and periodicals annually. Newspapers are published in about 100 languages and dialects. The largest number of newspapers published in the country are in Hindi language, followed by English and Urdu languages. So once again, India publishes a large number of newspapers and periodicals annually. Newspapers are published in about 100 languages and dialects. The largest number of newspapers published in India are in Hindi language, followed by English and Urdu languages. Next is the feature films. India is the largest producer of feature films in the world. It produces short films, video feature films, and video short films. The Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. So once again, India is the largest producer of feature films in the world. It produces both short films, video feature films, and video short films. The Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. And it is one of the mass communication that provides entertainment, education, and creates awareness among the people. The feature film influences the life effectively. Most of the feature films have been made on the topics of our nationality, culture, and patriotism to bend and bring the people together. So, the feature film is one of the mass communication that provide entertainment, education, and creates awareness among the people. The feature films influences the life effectively. Most of the feature films have been made on the topics of our nationality, culture, and patriotism to bend and bring the people together. Thus, mass media help in promoting and creating awareness among the masses about the various programs and policies of the government. So next topic we are going to study is international trade. So before starting this topic, first we want to know what is a trade or what is the meaning of the term trade. The exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. The market is a place where such exchanges take place. Exports and imports are the components of trade. In India, we are giving a lot of importance to this trade. So, the exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. Market is a place where such exchanges take place. Export and import are the two main components of trade. In India, we are having two categories of trade. They are local trade or domestic trade and international trade. So, India, we are having two categories of trade. They are local trade or domestic trade and international trade. So, first one, local trade. Trade carried in cities, towns, and villages and mainly done through land routes are called local trade. So, what is a local trade? Trade carried in cities, towns, and villages and mainly done through land routes are called local trade. Next is international trade. Trade between two countries are called international trade. It may take place through sea, air, or land routes. So once again, trade between two countries are called international trade. International trade may take place through sea routes, air routes, or land routes. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index to its prosperity. So now we are going to study what are the reasons why the advancement of international trade of a country is considered as an index to its prosperity. So the first reason why the advancement of international trade of a country is considered as index to its prosperity is that as the resources are space bound, no country can survive without international trade. So we are giving a lot of importance to the international trade. Goods or resources possessed by one country are required by other countries also. These differences create conditions for international trade. That means some goods are there in great available in some countries, and some resources they are in deficient of some countries. So as a result of this, if a trade contact is going on between these two countries, then all these problems we can overcome as a result of that. So this type of goods and resources possessed by one country are required by others also created a condition for international trade. So next is the foreign trade has helped India to improve its productivity of manufactured goods. International trade contributes to India's economic growth, rising income levels of the people and improving the standard of the living of the people also. So our country is giving a lot of importance to this international trade in order to improve our productivity of manufactured goods, which leads to the improvement of our economic growth, our income level rising or increasing. At the same time, our overall infrastructure development is also going on. In recent years, exchange of goods and commodities as a result of this trade have been superseded by the exchange of information and technology also, all different types of technological knowledge also. So in recent years, apart from this exchange of goods and commodities created economic growth and overall development, it also led to the exchange of information and knowledge among two countries. So it is also a great benefit as a result of this international trade. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level, and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. So as a result of this, our country is gaining a lot both in knowledge and in economic strength also as a result of this international trade. So because of all these reasons, advancement of this international trade is considered as an index of a country's prosperity. Next, we want to study about the balance of trade of a country. What is the balance of trade? It is the difference between the export and imports of trade is known as balance of trade. So once again, what is balance of trade of a country? It is the difference between its exports and imports is known as the balance of trade of a country. There are two types of balance of trade. They are favorable balance of trade and unfavorable balance of trade. So the balance of trade are of two categories. One is a favorable balance of trade and another one is a unfavorable balance of trade. So the first one, favorable balance of trade. When the value of exports exceeds the value of imports, we call it favorable balance of trade of a country. So once again, what is favorable balance of trade of a country? When the value of exports exceeds the value of imports, we call it a favorable balance of trade of a country. Next is unfavorable balance trade or unfavorable balance of a trade. When the value of imports exceeds the value of exports, we call it a unfavorable balance of trade of a country. So once again, what is unfavorable balance of trade of a country? When the value of imports exceeds the value of exports, we call it unfavorable balance of trade of a country. India has trade relation with all the major trading blocs and all geographical regions of the world. So, what are the reasons for this that we are going to study next? India exports various commodities. For example, agriculture and allied products of around 8.64 percentage, base metals around 6.91 percentage, gems and jewelries of 17.2 percentage, chemicals and related products 12.6 percentage. There are various commodities that are imported to India, which includes petroleum, crude and products of 22.4 percentage, gems and jewelries of 12.8 percentage, chemicals and related products 9.76 percentage, base metals 5.95 percentage, electronic items 10.94 percentage, machineries 8.9 percentage, agriculture and allied products 5.84 percentage. So along with exported items, we also imported many items like petroleum, crude and the allied products, gems and jewelries, chemicals and their related products, base metals, electronic items, machineries, agriculture and related items, everything. In the software field also, India earned a lot of foreign exchange. Because of all these reasons, we can say that prosperity of a country depends on the advancement of the international trade, and hence it is called the economic barometer of a nation. So next topic, or the last topic we want to study in this chapter, Lifelines of National Economy, is tourism as a trade. In India, tourism has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Around 4.5 percentage increase of foreign tourist visit we are having in our country in 2015 when we are comparing it in 2014, and its contribution to foreign exchange also we are having crores of increase. In 2015, around 8.3 million foreign tourists visited in India. More than 15 million people are directly engaged in the tourism industry. Foreign tourists visit India because of the types of tourism we are having in our country, like heritage tourism, eco-tourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism and business tourism. So once again, around 15 million people are directly engaged in a tourism industry. And the foreign tourists, they visited India because of the varieties we are having in this tourism, like heritage tourism, eco-tourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism and business tourism. Tourism promotes national integration and provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. It also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. From all this, we can understand that there is a vast potential for development of tourism in all parts of our country. So just have a quick recall of what we studied in this video. First, we studied about the waterways, its characteristic features, and the 5 main national waterways of India. Then we studied the major seaports. And there are 2 categories of major seaports in India. One is the West Coast seaports, consist of 6 main seaports, and another one is the East Coast seaports, consist of another 6 main important seaports. Then we studied the 3rd main means of transport, that is airways. What are the important features of airways? Then how these airways are more important, or the most important means of transport in the northeastern states of India. What are the main features or character? What are the main characters of that? Then we studied about the Pahwan helicopters and what is the use of these helicopters. Then we studied about the communication. two types of communication: personal communications and mass communications. And what is the difference between these two communications? And in personal communication, we studied about the Indian postal service and the telecom networks. And the mass communication, we studied about there's Agashwani Indian radio, then the Doordarshan, the national television channel, then the newspapers that published in India, and also about the feature films in India. Then we studied the international trade. What is trade? What are the difference between local trade and international trade? Then what is a balance of trade, and what are difference between favorable balance of trade and unfavorable balance of trade? Then at last in this chapter we studied about tourism, the types of tourism, why the foreign tourists are mainly attracted towards India, and we studied how the tourism helped to have national integration in our country. My dear children, watch the video very carefully, copy down all the important points, and read your textbook 3 or 4 times. Okay, thank you.